Hello guys, today I'm gonna show you how to upload a file, or in this case a photo, to a S3 bucket using Node, and then once we finish that we'll test it out with Postman. Before I start, there's a couple of things that you guys need to read up on before you start, or else this tutorial will be of no use to you. Again, I'm assuming you know a little bit of stuff before starting on here, so here we go. So on the desktop, we create a folder. Let's call it photo upload, and then go in there, and then npm init. Yeah. And so now some of the dependencies that we're going to use are multer, which is a middleware for handling form data, which is files, and of course the Amazon S3 is, or the AWS SDK for JavaScript, and the SDK for S3. So click here. Oops, wrong one. So here you go. This is how we install the Amazon SDK. Now the multer. And of course we also need a body parser, standard stuff, express, and node mod. Oh, next we're gonna make a drive called config, make a folder called config, and this is where we're gonna put all the configuration for multer and the S3, and make another folder for controller, and route. Okay, so the route's going to contain our endpoint, which is going to go to the controller, which is going to do the uploading. And then, so let's open this up in add-on or any text editor of your choice. Now let's make that server index file right here. It's on this. We're gonna set up standard Node Express boilerplate. Express. Oh, back. Then body parser. Then let's initialize the app. Like I said, this is just standard boilerplate coded. Extend false. Then app.use body parser. Save that. And then we'll take a listen to port 3000. Console.log app running on port 3. Now let's change the package. Start. I think that should work. Oops. Oh, there you go. Hopefully that will fix it. There you go. So our server's already up and running. So let's get the configuration started. Let's add a folder and call it multer. And then add another folder and call it S3. And here we'll add a file called config. And this is how we'll set it up. And so we read here, this is gives you some information. You're gonna require it. In the routes, this is how multer's a middleware, so you would put it in here. And just read information. Okay. You can also do online search on how other people use multer. So we need to require multer. And in this case, we're going to be using memory storage here. And it's going to store the files as a buffer object. And it's going to send this buffer to S3 to download it. This other one will create an actual destination and actually will save it to your computer. Okay, so basically this memory storage is just holding it temporarily while it sends it somewhere else. Memory storage. I think that's correct. Let me just copy this. And then let's export. Let's save that. Now we're done with the multer configuration. Now let's go to the S3. Let's create a file. Config. And here, just read up on Amazon, know how to get started. Just do some reading, and try to do some reading and try to do it on your own. And pause it right here, and then come back if you're having trouble. So we're gonna need to import the SDK. And we're gonna use this environment function or object, and this is gonna hold all of our access keys and special access variables to go into your S3 account on Amazon. So then we will have const S3 client. Again, this is on the AWS website. You have an access key ID, and it would be located in here. Oh. Sorry, getting calls. And then secret. Oh, then we have a secret field, secret access key. Yes, secret access key. Okay, in region environment dot region. Let's sit with that, and then we'll have another constant. And these are just the parameters specific to your bucket. Sometimes you don't need one. Some of the fields you don't need, but again, this is on the website. Now we're gonna export this. Oh, equals. Upload params. Then module dot. Let's save that. I'm going to create another file for that environment for those environment variables. Just call it env.js, and the structure for that will be const equals env, and so we have from the previous thing that we're working on, we have the field access key, aws secret access key region and bucket. And so these are each going to be strings. Make sure you format it correctly. And then export. And for obvious reasons, I'm not going to show you my keys. I'm going to go ahead and put them on separately. And another. And hopefully I won't make the mistake of showing y'all. Okay, back. Now that we have our configuration file set up, we're going to set up the controller. And we're going to require the configuration. We're going to first, before we, okay, we're going to add a new file. I'm going to call this aws.controller.js. And we're going to require that configuration that we created. And make sure we get the path right. And then call it do upload. Oops. The request response. Oops. And the S3 has those fields. And we have access to these since we required the configuration file. And these here, we have several parameters that we have access to. Um, on the file. Since multer gives us access to that file, we can add more parameters to our parameter object, and the request that comes in has a file field name, and on the body so the request has file, gives you access to this file, and this file has the original name, the name of the file, and this is the data of that file, and it sets it to the parameters that we imported here, do the configuration, and set it as body and set it as a key. And Amazon's going to use the key and the body to make the upload happen. And this is a function, and you can get that from the aws-sdk. You take up parameters, and then you call back. If there is an error, we respond status 500. Oops. Plus error. And else. And this structure is available on the website. So we got that in. Let's check our. So we still haven't got any syntax errors, so that's a good thing. And that's the good thing about Nomon. It listens to changes, and every time a change happens, it'll reset. And now let's go to our route. And here, we'll create an index. And so we require the controller we just made. Require. Let's see, where is that controller here? So one. So only the controller. aws dot controller.js. I'm not sure about the path, but we'll find out. It seems to be alright. Then we'll import the upload from multer. Remember, this is a middleware, so it needs to be accessed in the route. So this has to run. Oh no, it doesn't. It's one also. No, this is two. Because one signifies same directory. Two signifies one up from the directory. Then we go to config slash multer slash config.js. Okay. And now we have module. And this is where the route is going to be. It's a post since we're uploading a file. Let's just let it be that. Upload. Upload dot single, and this is information I got from the documentation from multer. A single photo and AWS controller dot do upload. Make sure we got that written correctly. Okay, that seems about right. Got that. Now we go back here to our index. And we will require dot same directory or same level route that we created, and it's we have access to it since we exported it, and we'll use the app with we'll set up a default. Well, I don't think we need this. So we have that. So everything should be working correctly. There's only one way to find out. So let's get started with Postman. And we're at 3,000. Upload. Is that the same? Is that the correct route? Yes, upload. And here, let's see, form data, file, photo, choose a file, and I'm sure I have a picture somewhere here. Dallas Cowboys, good enough. Make that a post, let's send it. And we get a message that's saying that the file uploaded successfully. And let's go to the Amazon. See S3 and March 1st, 2019. Should be able to see it. Oh, let's do it again. And we get the file here, which is cool. So that's about it, guys. Hope this made some sense to you guys. And in the next video, we're gonna use actually this and integrate it with the Instagram clone that I'm trying to make. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.